Well, hello there, everyone. My name is Adam, and welcome back to Golden Sun. So, here we are, finally, in Venus Lighthouse, properly, ready to tackle the final dungeon of the game. So, let's get to tackling. If we come over here and go up, we find that we're... back here again. The electrical trap still doesn't do any damage, but now we can, do this. And now we can leave at our leisure, rather than having to backtrack all the way through the tunnel ruins and baby lighthouse. But there's no need to do that, so let's get a move on. Let's see if we can tackle this dungeon. First, we come up to this room and we find there's some new enemies here. Boulder beasts and grand golems. Well, those sound fun, don't they? So let's go ahead and take those out. Let's just continue with our usual strategy here of slapping them with the highest level synergy that we have in our arsenal. And hoping it does the trick. Well, it's taken out the boulder beasts quite nicely. The Grand Golem, however, as all Golem-type enemies seem to be, is quite sturdy. But it can't take much more than a few more hits. So, let's look around and see what we can find here. Up here we find that, it seems to be a bit of a dead end. So, nothing for us to do there. And that sand waterfall seems to be, difficult to cross. So, we won't be getting across those easily if we run into any more. Good to know. However, we can also get back out of this area fairly easily. So, if we come up here, it's another dead end. Nothing for us up here. So, if we come back down, we can just climb back up here, and then head over this way, where we will find... would you look at that? So we'll go ahead and carry this block, and move it over one, so we can then hop over here. And we find that's a big sand waterfall. And it doesn't look like we'll be able to make it all the way across here. But there is something down there, so let's give it a try. These sand waterfalls are not quite as strong as they may first appear. So we can make it across and grab a thunder crown. Interesting. Replenishes PP, however, it's cursed. Well, replenishing PP would be very nice. But, as it's cursed, we'll go ahead and give it instead to Garrett. Because, well, it's not like he can be cursed twice, right? And he could use the PP replenishment. And also, it's just generally a stronger piece of armor for him than it would be for Isaac. So, why not? So, let's continue on. Deal with more enemies, and let's try not to get poisoned, and take out the Manticore King. Surprisingly, despite being called a Manticore King, he's not really all that tough, or they're not really all that tough. Now, this may seem familiar to anyone who remembers Mercury Lighthouse. There are bound to be some of these sand waterfalls here that we can walk through. It's all a matter of finding which ones. So, let's try not to die here. I say that immediately before Ivan dies. Well, that was unfortunate. So, let's revive Ivan, and then get ourselves all healed up. So, is it the middle one? No, it's the far right, of course. So, coming through here, we can hop along over these platforms here, and move our way around here. And we'll get into another encounter. And I've learned my lesson, and won't just try to run. I think I'm going to have to force myself to fight all of these enemies, because we just can't run reliably enough, and these enemies are beginning to pack quite a punch. So, fighting it is. Luckily, as long as we bring our best attacks, or just actually hit them fairly hard, the enemies are not especially tough, so this shouldn't be too hard. So let's see what we can do here. Interesting. What have we here? I see lines on the ground and a movable object. Seems like a simple puzzle to me. And indeed it is. The path opens just like that. And we cannot get down there, whatever down there may be, so we'll move this way instead. So we come back here, and we've been to this room before, so after we take out the boulder beast, we can step on the switch here, and the platform there moves over to block the other sand waterfall, which shuts off the sand fall there and allows us to get across the other side. How fascinating. So, now that we've got that sorted, we'll just drown a Fenrir. And then we can go up and investigate what's over there now. So, let's do so. And coming up here, we find, well, this looks interesting. What do we have here? Let's move these pillars around and see what we can find. Nothing behind this one, it seems. What about behind the other one? Aha! A doorway! So, you know what that means. Move this pillar over. Run back up here. Climb up the ladder. Oh goodness. A grand golem and a griffin. Well, we can take out the griffin fairly easily. So let's get rid of it. Especially if Mia drowns it. And then we can focus fire on the Grand Golem. Truncheon Fist, oh dear. That is, unpleasant. But it's nothing to worry about. And so, we hop over, and up the stairs we go. Which deposits us right back here, where we couldn't get down to before. Lovely. So, moving up, we come to this place. Well now, this looks a bit more complex now, doesn't it? So let's heal ourselves and poke around a little. How can we do this? So then, it looks like we'll need to... Seems to be there's only one way this can actually work. So, with that in mind, we will... Well, I'll do this correctly first. We'll move this one up and over here. So that it falls into place. Then we'll push this one here. And then we'll move this one over this way. Down here. And into this opening. and that will allow the energy to go through and open up the door. I'm sure there's more than one solution for that. That's just the one I happened to find, or come up with right off the bat. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. These enemies don't look particularly nice, so let's hit them with everything we've got. Naturally, the Thunder Lizard is quite resistant to thunder attacks, but doesn't care much for Earth. And the Chimeras don't seem to like ice very much. And speaking of the Chimeras, they're almost down already. Isn't that something? So then, let's try this. A quick Sonic Smash and down goes the Chimera, and a good attack takes down the Thunder Lizard. And a level up for Isaac. Delightful. So, we'll just ford through the sand waterfall here, to come over this way, and we can go through this door. Oh look, more birds. Given that this place is called Venus Lighthouse, and is therefore aligned with Venus and Earth, we are finding a surprising number of not Earth-aligned enemies in here. Which is very surprising. Although, more surprising than finding non-Earth aligned enemies in here is finding enemies that are weak to Earth. That just seems out of place. So, we'll go through the sand waterfall here, and come up here to where we can find... Well, looks like we'll have to go around to get to that one. But I think we know the solution for this. We'll just have Garrett do his trick here. Move one of these cubes down. Weigh that platform down a little. And then we can push this other cube over. And plop it down right on top. To weigh it down even more. And there we go. Then we can hop over. And to get back, we'll need to go up that way, obviously. But let's see what's down here. I think I know what this is going to do. Yes, there it is. Another sand waterfall. And that fills in that one with sand. So we can now run through there. Excellent. And we can also hop up here. Which leads us right back here. How convenient. So let's go ahead and finish off these enemies. Drown. Oh, they can recover, can they? Well, that's new. Well, we can't be having that. So let's take them out. With how damaged that Chimera Mage is, yep, there we go. It was an easy target. Well, stop picking on Mia. What did she ever do to you? So we'll actually have Isaac heal up Mia so she can start recovering a little of her synergy points. So we'll come down this way, and then we can move up here, and immediately get into a battle. How delightful. So, we'll go ahead and start attacking these enemies. Shouldn't be too difficult. And we'll just have Mia attack. So she can keep recovering her synergy points. Constantly healing the entire party does definitely take a toll on her synergy levels. Fire Blessing. That's gnarly. As is Eruption. Well then. That didn't go very well for us. So, let's see what else we can do here. And we'll have Mia heal up, because we are a little bit damaged after that whole mess. Assuming Mia gets a turn, that is. Which it looks like she won't. But a level up for Garrett. That's always lovely. We may end up needing a whole lot of levels before we're through here. Because we have beaten the game's secret boss in the form of Deadbeard, which is definitely a mighty challenge. But it's far from the only difficult challenge in the game. Now comes this interesting thing here. Which, if we can manage to get to this chest, our reward is a Gaia Blade. Which is the strongest weapon in the game. So naturally, we will go ahead and have Isaac equip that. And we could give the Silver Blade to Garrett, but it wouldn't actually be stronger than his current weapon. And plus, his current weapon is cursed, so he couldn't equip it anyway. So, we'll just hang on to it for now. And then, we have to get pushed along back this way. So, how do we get out of here? Well, we have to go up here. There we go. And now we can ramble on along and see what else we can find. Oh dear. Another one of these puzzles. And this one seems even more complicated. But we'll figure it out eventually. Before that, though, there was other things we can do. Let's go see what's up here. Ah, look! More griffins. That new Titan Blade is doing Isaac very well if he can do that much damage with a regular attack. That is a substantial amount of damage. And if he can pull off his Unleash, it should do even more damage. And I am aware of some of the secrets or other very powerful weapons that some enemies in this lighthouse drop, but they can take quite a while to manage to get if you don't resort to things like RNG manipulation to force it. So I'm not going to bother with that just yet. I may do that off camera so that I'll have those items for the inevitable sequel run when I play The Lost Age, but I'm not going to worry about those right now, as I'm not really that well versed when it comes to the RNG manipulation aspects, and I really don't want to spend all that time repeatedly grinding to try and get them to drop by chance. Rest assured, however, we will be getting them. So, let's go ahead and try and plan this out. So, looks like this one will need to go in either one of these. This one we're pushing can only really go in this one here or this one. So, let's see here. We put this one here. We put this one here. Oh hey, that should work. Let's try it. The worst that can happen after all is we need to reset the puzzle, and that doesn't take too long. So, we'll come down and push this one. And we push it right over here. And then we need to push this one. I seem to have messed up, as this will not actually work. Whoops-a-doodle. I realize my mistake, however, and now I know which ones to use. So if we exit and come back in, we can try this once more. And so we'll push this one right here. And then we can move this one all the way down here. I wish there was a way to move these things faster, but what can you do? And we'll push this one right in here. And then this one we can push over here. And it drops right into place. And then this one we can push down here, over here, and drop this one right into place. There we go. Whew. Good thing the puzzles are still simple as ever, huh? Alright. And up here, we can press this switch after a battle with Fenrir. Ooh, Titan Blade. That is lovely. And... ooh dear. That hurt. So, we'll make sure to remember to heal after that. Let's see, how hurt is everyone? That's probably worth it. And then Isaac can heal himself up the rest of the way. And we'll step on this switch, which will open up that sand waterfall. And that sand waterfall is the third one back in that room. Hooray! More progress can now be made. But first, let's run up here. And we can't get to that platform from here. Which means, how do we get to it? Well, not to worry, as I'm sure we'll get to it sooner or later. Titan Blade. That attack is so lovely. And not just because it does so much damage. Well, relatively so much damage. The amount of damage it does, considering it has no cost whatsoever, except for the random factor of its activation, is quite nice. So now we're back here, and we can come up here, and up these stairs, which puts us over here, and we come up to this place. Well, doesn't this look like a rather interesting place? So, let's see. We'll finish off this battle, and then we'll see what we can do. And a good cast of Glacier should do some hefty damage. Well, maybe not hefty damage, but it definitely did damage. Eruption should do much more. And let's see if we can't finish these guys off. Ivan can hit both of them with Shine Plasma, which is lovely. So let's give him the zap. And that's not quite enough to finish them all. But Heat Wave should do it. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and heal everyone up. And then we'll save before grabbing that Synergy Stone, just in case. It may turn out we don't need it after all. And so we're now back to full. We can come up here, slide down there, which drops us onto this platform. And the platform then rises to the heavens.